Well, hello. F1 is back, and so therefore so am I. Thanks to the lovely Grace, we have some fan formula questions, which is, just like the good old days. And that also means I can kind of stick to a script of four set questions, so I won't be rambling too much. I say this now, of course, but you know what I'm like. So, long time no see. Sorry, winter break, it happens. But F1 2014 got off with a bang. I've been up since 4:20 in the morning, and that's sort of similar for the past like 4 days. So that's my excuse if I say anything deeply insane. So yeah, I'll probably go straight on with the questions because I know I'm going to ramble anyway and just get sidetracked. But if I use up, too many words per minute, you can disqualify me from YouTube. Anyway, question one: which rookie most impressed you in their debut? I think this is going to be fairly unanimous. Gotta say Kev. Good old Kev, who's already sort of been, welcomed into this sort of weird British family we have going on at McLaren. But I'll just sort of work backwards. Okay, Marcus Ericsson, he didn't do anything wrong necessarily. To be fair, he did a better job than his more experienced teammate Kobayashi did. But obviously we didn't see anything of him, reliability. He didn't get very far. So can't say a lot about him, not seen much of him even in testing. So I'll reserve judgment if he starts to delight me later on. You never know. But for now, just kind of meh, indifferent. Same-ish with Kvyat, with a K. This is going to be just an ongoing thing all season because all the commentators are going to say Fiat, like Fiat 500 or whatever. So I'm just going to go with Kvyat with a K. He did well actually. To be fair, he was impressive for a rookie in that last year. I mean, we had sort of your Max Chilton's crashing around all over the place and not putting the handbrake on, it rolling down the hill. And then even Van der Garde, who I quite liked. I mean, he was like a moving chicane when he had blue flags, just weaving about all over the place and causing unnecessary accidents. I think really all the rookies this year so far have just kept out of trouble amazingly well, and that's an achievement in itself, really. I mean, you're not going to blow everyone away the first race, especially not if you're in a Caterham and, to a certain extent at Toro Rosso. But he kept up with Jev, he kept up with his teammate, did some good overtaking. Again, I'm sort of slightly indifferent because we've not seen a lot of him. He looks kind of frightening and he doesn't seem like a bundle of laughs, to be honest. After some of his interviews, he seems quite sort of, I don't know, stern. But, good job. Got points on his debut. It's pretty good going. But it has to be Kev for me. I mean, he's just destroyed records for best sort of debut. I mean, everyone raves about Lewis Hamilton debuting at McLaren and getting third place. Fair enough. But as of post-race news, Kev's got his second place, which is staggering. I mean, especially with, you would have thought you'd have the Mercedes way ahead of them, as in both of them. We'll get to that later. And, the Red Bulls and Ferrari to a certain extent almost edged them out in testing, but for a rookie and so young and everything, just to sneak in and end up in second, I mean, third was good enough, was incredibly impressive. We'll wait and see. I mean, everybody's jumping on this bandwagon. I mean, there's plenty of room on the bandwagon. It's fine. I just think it's sensible for people to have reserved judgment if they have not seen him race. They've not heard a lot about him beforehand, before basically testing and then, Friday practice. It's fair enough to reserve judgment. And then, yeah, when he pulls out a performance like this today in the race, of course you're gonna support him. So, bandwagon will be a phrase used a lot, I'm sure, but, he's done a good job and I think he deserves people's support so far. We'll see what the season holds for him. But I think what really sold him for me was somebody tweeting a picture of him celebrating wearing a Viking helmet, which just amused me no end, to be honest. And I have a Viking helmet, so if I can find it, I may have to do a video with that on at some point, especially if he wins or something, or if he just becomes a regular feature on the podium. I will get my Viking helmet out, and that would just be awesome. Question 2. The kind of new style of F1, is it good or bad? I sort of paraphrased that question. I'm going to go overall good. I think people are making a huge fuss about the noise. I mean, yes, we're going to miss that amazing roar of the engines, but I don't think that's the big deal, because if you're only bothered about the sound, you might as well just listen to a recording of it and not actually watch any racing, any overtaking, any strategy, like none of the other aspects of Formula One that we know and love. Sound is part of it, but it is nowhere near the majority. So for me, it's a tiny thing, and at the start of every season, the looks of the cars or the sound or whatever's going on takes some getting used to. But after about 2 races, we're all just sold. It's the norm. So I'm really not bothered about the sound. I enjoy things like hearing the crowd. I mean, especially when Dan was doing so well and you could hear all the Aussies just screaming. That was awesome. And I like to think that adds to the sort of atmosphere of F1 and the sound of it in general. It doesn't have to be just the engines, it can be the roar of the crowd. And the squealing of the tyres, which was great fun when you had people like Hulkenberg like locking up quite a lot. I think, yeah, it's all part of the atmosphere. It's all the sound contributes to sort of feeling you get, and I thought it was pretty good. And then you've got all the talk, which they've got people wriggling around, and it just looks more of a fight. I think we want it to look like effort because it's the best job in the world, and I think the drivers want it to look like effort so they don't get a pay cut. Because last year you've got Vettel and so many other drivers make it look so easy. They barely move the whole race, and they just get on with it, and then the sort of time management, fuel management, like everything like that, temperature management becomes more of the focus because it looks like they're just sat there. So I think a little bit of fight to the cars sort of makes up for the management that they still have to do. Obviously, fuel management is going to be a big topic today, but there was no talk of tyres at all. So I can only see that as a good thing. And there was still plenty of strategy involved. I mean, basically, I'd say, Jenson Button, his strategy, he's always been a thinking driver. So I was delighted to see that amazing last-minute manoeuvre just dodging the pit lane barrier to get in when the safety car was out. So, as usual, I enjoyed a bit of the strategy, and it paid off for Jenson today, and sort of got him a podium without being on the podium and stuff like that. So, yeah, I like this new Formula One. I'll agree with Martin Brundle on that. I don't know whether there'll be more fuss later down the line in the season. I'm not sure, or whether people just get used to it, which is sort of what I'm thinking. So, question 3: which team/driver most disappointed you? This is easy. You all know how much I love Romain Grosjean and how I like to shake my pasta pom-poms for Pasta Maldonado. So yeah, Lotus are going to be my most disappointing team. It's just tragic. I don't even know what to say. Seeing Romain Grosjean look sad is just wrong and weird, and someone needs to give him a cuddle, and I would obviously volunteer for that. So yeah, I mean, I hope they can improve, but they're not exactly a team renowned for good catch-up. I mean, that's, Red Bull's territory. I don't know how they're going to salvage this one. It just seems so dire. I mean, I was actually amazed how long they stayed running. It's longer than they ever ran in testing, which is ridiculous. So yeah, it's a little awkward when it's a team that actually has 2 drivers I like, which is rare, although McLaren are sort of sneaky into that category at the moment. Yeah, so Lotus, terribly disappointing, and I really hope they can improve. And the bonus question is your favourite moment of the Grand Prix. It's difficult for me. Like I said, I enjoyed Jenson's strategy, just seeing him sneak up several places without, barely even flinching. Viking Kev, obviously, amazing. And yeah, I've got to be childish a little bit and say Hamilton retiring and pit lane okie hokey, in out, was hilarious. Especially when people make such a huge fuss. He gets pole position. If Vettel gets pole position, everyone goes, oh boo, oh same old, same old. Hamilton gets pole position, everyone just explodes with excitement. And I'll give him credit where it's due. In my fantasy league thing, which I know a lot of you fan Formulites are involved in, and it's quite exciting. I've not done it before. I actually put Hamilton pole and Rosberg win. That's kind of what I was thinking, because of course I accept the Mercedes is the best car at the moment, at least the fastest. But But yeah, pole isn't everything, and yeah, people be quick to say, oh, there's no points on a Saturday if it's Vettel or somebody sort of more disliked in Britain. But yeah, when it's Hamilton, you know, praise. So yeah, I'll admit I laughed when Hamilton retired. It amused me greatly because I'm a horrible person. So there you go. Yeah, difficult one for favourite moment of the Grand Prix. I mean, the only other one I think would be Magnussen's magnificent save at the start. I don't know if you saw him totally just losing it, the wheels spinning, just sort of once he got to the line, and just it was heading straight off left, straight into the wall. I don't know how the hell he saved it, but it was a good one. Other favourite stuff would probably be obviously Bottas doing well. I mean, I'm more about Williams doing well than like Bottas specifically. He still hasn't blown me away. Today was the first start of, I think, me sort of thinking, you know, good job. But I wished I could have seen what Felipe could have done in the car, because I think, you know, there's a lot of good feeling at Williams, and I think Felipe, his experience will really contribute for them for the rest of the season. So hopefully there's no Kobayashi incident next week, or at least he picks another driver to go play with, so Felipe can have a go next week. Yeah, there you go. That video is not too long. Amazing. Yeah, I probably should be quiet, but I hopefully we'll be doing videos every race now. We should have some fan formula questions, so hopefully a few of you guys will get involved as well and rambling your thoughts. So yeah, I guess to end this video, I have to simply quote Martin Brundle and say, enjoy the banana. Goodbye.